Welcome to Ravensdale Bible Academy, and I'd love to introduce you to our Plural Noun Proposition course. This is an absolute cornerstone course for us. Every student has to take it, and the reason for that is all our assignments really are based off of the format of using the Plural Noun Proposition outline. Well, what is a plural noun proposition outline? I think the best way to illustrate this is with the example here given from Ecclesiastes. And it looks like this. So you take a noun, clue, right? Insight, secret. Make it a plural, 3 clues, 8 insights. And then here's the proposition for making sense out of life, 8 insights into God's sovereignty, 4 secrets of surviving in an unfair world, 5 critical instructions for meeting with God, 4 instructions for repairing your soul. And so you can already tell the clarity that one gets when you open with a plural noun proposition. And so it's essential that we learn how to clearly articulate our views, our ideas, what we're trying to communicate. This is what we do every day. We call it communication, right? Whether it's verbal or written, but especially when we talk about academics, when a lot of our assignments are based off some kind of writing. Even in just formulating a simple email, quite often I find myself being able to send a nice, brief, concise, clear email just by beginning with, look, there are 3 questions that I have. There are 2 things I would like to do. I am sending, 1 attachment. It just gives crisp, clear, concise clarity to what you're trying to communicate. So that's our goal. Our goal with this course is to inform our students in a very tangible way. And we're going to do this over and over and over again. I don't care if you're doing a Bible assignment, a science assignment, an English assignment, a history assignment. You're probably going to use our plural noun proposition outline to present your proposition, argument, or even just to give an overview, kind of like a book report of what the assignment was. As a pastor, as a speaker, a sales person, a parent, as an educator, there's no course that's more important, in my opinion, than this course. And again, this is a great time to just hone the skill of clear written communication. One of the great ways I can illustrate this is as a teacher, I was able to, grade a lot of assignments. And time after time, I knew the student, and I knew the student actually understood the subject, but they couldn't articulate it. Meanwhile, there were other students that I knew actually didn't know the subject very well, but they could at least put together and formulate a concise outline. And so it gave the impression that they knew they were talking about. Of course, we don't want to, just, all fluff and no stuff. But it just gives you an example of those who can write a clear 3-point proposition paper are going to have an extreme advantage. And let's be honest, we're competing in the world. Just asking somebody out on a date. I would love to take you out on a date. These are the 3 things I would like to do with you. Maybe you have to ask the parent, sir, I would love to take your daughter out on a date. These are, 4 things that I really admire about her, and I'd like to get her to know her better. Instead of rumbling around, I think I know I like your daughter. Yeah, and like pizza, so I like to see how that just doesn't come off well. As an educator, like I mentioned before in grading papers, the number one problem that I saw with students is their inability to clearly articulate. One of the elements we want to bring in is, what if we were debating? And again, communication, especially when we have disagreeing points, is a debate. And so in a debate, look, clearly state your proposition. I believe that America should have a border wall on the southern border. Why? I have 3 reasons why. The first reason is because of illegal drugs. The second reason is the financial burden that it places on hospitals and schools. And the third reason is it's unfair to all the legal aliens who are already in line and paying money. And so whether you agree or disagree with those positions, at least you know clearly and exactly what my point of view is. Now I have to support those 3 propositions with facts and evidence. And so that's how we build the body of the paragraph. And so again, what is a plural noun proposition? It begins with state your proposition. Your proposition give, kind of the nouns that support your views. Might be 4 foundations, it could be 2 keys, could be 3 responses, could be 6 goals. It just doesn't matter what the number is. And then you have that noun that again clearly gives direction to what you're about to say. The proposition answers the point and the essence of the main idea or the main argument, and then it supplies key supporting points. Maybe you remember the old, brainstorming where you would come up with a cluster, right? And you'd throw out ideas. It's really the same concept. You go from the cluster of the brainstorming of ideas and then put them in clear supporting facts and evidence and explanation so that you support the body of the paragraph. I really, every sermon I do, I begin with reading the chapter a couple times. Then I start writing out what I see as the outline from the chapter, the key points. And then a lot of times I might notice or identify, there's like 2 C's in this. And maybe I'll use what's called alliteration. It's like, okay, the 4 C's. And that helps us to remember. Because not only do we want to study things, but we want to remember and understand them. If we can have acronyms like hammers or have alliteration, the 3 C's, that might help us. This is a simple structure, a very simple structure, but I don't care if you're writing a thesis paper or just turning in a current events paper. This is the structure that allows a student not only to clearly articulate their position, but maybe even more importantly, to stay on track. If you say, look, I have 3 reasons why high school football is the best sport, well, then your next statement is, well, what are those 3 reasons? Because every single person in the school goes to the game. Okay, everybody goes to the game. Why is that important? It becomes a great social event. Number 2, it's because it gives kids something to do on Friday night that's clean and safe and wholesome. So then you stick on track. So if you're saying, and then you might say the next dynamic is it's the most exciting sport. So those are the 3 reasons. Now you have to support them. Well, it will prevent you from getting on rabbit trails because all right, I have to support that football is the best sport, right? And so now here are 2 reasons why football is the best sport. See how our outline begins to develop. And so this again is an essential class. This is for your life. It's not just for turning in an assignment. I promise you, I guarantee you that you will use this structure for life. I love it when I've had my kids for years, write proposition papers for me. And I love when we're talking and, one of my sons says, Dad, I would like to go to Matthew's house. There's 2 things that we're going to be doing. And I can just hear him articulating his reason for going to his friend's house and giving me a 2-point proposition for it. I absolutely love it. Maybe you're sitting there and you're thinking, hey, you're talking to your parents, and it's like, there's 2 reasons why I think football would be good for me, Mom. Hey, Dad, there's 3 benefits that I would get from going to summer camp. Or, hey, I have 4 goals this year during my time in school. See how that just really gives very crisp, clear direction. So I promise you that this course will not only benefit you today, but it will benefit you for a lifetime.